welcome to my podcast. My name is Elizabeth and I am Right Over Coffee. Yes, with three E's, if y'all have noticed that. Yes. We're talking about something that many people, carry, and sometimes they just are quiet and silent about. It's really important to me that I really want everybody to know that whatever you're going through is very important. Whatever you're going through is extremely you and justifiable. So don't let anybody, that's my little secret of the day, don't let anybody take that away from you because whatever you're going through is very important. So I have my handy dandy notebook, so just in case. I really have enjoyed the writing of my book. I'm an author, so it's Unspoken Goodbyes. It came out last August and it's been received very well. I've done some book signings in the DFW market, have really, really enjoyed it, and getting it out there has been great. And talking to people and then being able to be comfortable enough to share stories. So whenever I decided I wanted to do a podcast, which has been my dream for a while, because if anybody knows me, they know I'm a talker. They know that I love to talk. So I have always had a kind of like a feel for talking to people and getting to know people. I think it was in 2018, a couple of months before my dad died, I found Rachel Hollis. And Rachel Hollis loved her and her then husband. They had a little thing that they did. And I would always join every morning. Not only that, but they had a catchy tune as well. So that was fun. And they just talked about real things. But some of the things that they had taught, especially Rachel, was about the whole silent mentors. And at that time, I didn't have a lot of mentors. I had a lot of, I had a tribe, I had a community of friends, and I had my husband, and I still do. So I need to stop saying that in past tense. And it was more so the silent of mentors, and that really resonated with me. And so as soon as that resonated, because she was like, I have silent mentors and everything. So FYI, guys, if you know Rachel Hollis and you're a part of her community, tag her in this because I would absolutely love to tell her thank you in person, podcast, interview, anything. I just want to tell her thank you. She made me realize that just because back then I was in my early 40s and I was completely like there's no way I can do what I want to do, which was write, which was finish my stories. I wrote a book and it's at the publishers right now, but I was too scared. I was totally too scared. And she had made a comment that it doesn't matter if you're 40, 50, 60, if you have a dream, go for it. And that really resonated with me, really totally did. So when I started doing it, I wrote, as soon as my dad had passed away on November 14th, I started writing journal entries. And it was Dear Dad, Dear Daddy, Dear Dad, Dear Daddy. And I would be stuck in my closet and I would just write because I love writing on hand. Love it. See, I mean, I write in hand. So I ended up writing Unspoken Goodbyes. And I really liked it. First of all, my daughter gave me the idea for Unspoken Goodbyes. And then after that, it was more of a, what's it going to be about? Some people say it's self-help. Some people say it's a memoir. Some people say I'm a storyteller. So in reality, I am a storyteller. I love talking. I love telling stories. And I just really enjoy being there for people and listening. I didn't have that a lot. So going back to Rachel Hollis, she was my silent mentor and taught me a lot of good things and to look for, whether it's friendship or whether it's my dream or in life in general. So her and her then husband, they really taught me a lot. And from there, it moved on. And I started doing some more Bible studies and I would invite them into my home. And so we fell in love with Lisa Harper and Jenny Allen. I've always loved Jenny Allen. Like, she's awesome. Lisa Harper, Southern, awesome girl. And another reason why, look at her story. Beautiful story of her becoming a mama. Super sweet. If I could give her a hug, I would. And it was incredible story and heartbreak and all the things that comes with it. And then Jenny Allen, and just the way her heart is for people, and the community and the if gatherings, and just an amazing ministry. And all three of these women have shaped me into who I am. So if I ever get to meet you, I want to tell you in person, thank you. But if not, this is my thank you. So here we go. So again, I was really kind of, deciding what I was going to write about and talk about. And it's the weight of the words that were never said. We'll be going over my book a little bit later, and I'll read a chapter a day. The weight of words that were never said was something that a lot of us feel in grief, and don't forget that grief isn't just about a death. It could be a divorce, it could be a relationship strain, it could be moving different states, and just the different things, loss of trust. A lot of things can cause grief. So the book is not just simply loosely based on death. It's all of it and how we handle it. Sometimes grief forgets about the conversations we had and didn't have. And then we blame ourselves, and then what I've called guilt grief. And that seems to be common in a lot. And even if you've ever kind of like replayed, conversation in your mind, wishing you had said something or wishing you wouldn't have said something, or it's just completely there, then those are things that everybody always hyper focuses on. And so it's really, really, really hard, I would say. An unspoken goodbye is a relationship that ends without closure, basically. And what I did with the unspoken goodbye was I wanted to make sure that you had your closure, and I wanted to make sure that everybody knew that it was okay to not have that closure. Because what if it was a death and you didn't get to say goodbye, and you didn't get to say all the things you wanted to say? Well, that's okay. That's completely okay, because now it's your turn to do it, because it's all about a choice that we make. And it's your turn to say, hey, I didn't have a chance to say goodbye. So how do I say goodbye? How do I make the closure happen? Again, that closure doesn't have to be in a death. It could be a divorce, an estrangement, addiction, or simply distance. One day the relationship changes, and suddenly the opportunity to say what's on your heart disappears. So that is why I always have a little notebook, here. So that way, if there's something going on, I know that I can write it out, and I can completely write myself a letter. For some people, my suggestion would maybe be, write them a letter. The one that you're estranged, the one that you lost. Write a letter and let yourself feel that letter. Let yourself attach those emotions to that letter. It's so much easier if we can just let that emotion be real and raw. There's so many times that we can't do that, and that's where we get stuck. And we'll talk about that in later. The hardest part in our minds is keep replaying it over and over. And we think about what we should have said or shouldn't have said. Like I said in the beginning, we have a lot of says. What we hoped that other person would have understood, whether, again, it could be an estrangement, a death, a divorce, an addiction, or simply just distance. And so we tend to kind of keep hyper focusing on that. So that's where we come into the other part, which is more like the common regrets. What would be a regret, to kind of like let us think about the regret but not stay hyper focused on the regret. So one of the common regrets is when you feel done. Sometimes the regret we carry are small, sometimes they come from wounds, sometimes they just are a part of us and we shut down. When we reach a place like that, I'm done. I'm done trying. I'm done explaining. I'm done with everything, everybody involved. The feeling is more common than we would like to admit. I mean, to be honest, that's the way I did. 15, 20 years ago, when I would have a fight with my husband, I'd be like, I'm done. Done. Just done. Don't talk to me. Done. I'm sure you guys have felt that way, right? Do you Did you ever feel like you're done? I'm done. Get mad at your job, get mad that something happened before going to church. And you're just like, I'm done. Recently, a friend of mine had told me that she didn't even want to come um, somewhere that we were all gathering together. She didn't even want to go. She had a bad morning start out. She she just felt an attack, and she was like, I'm done. I'm going to give in. I'm done. But what did she do? She showed up, and she needed, that was her way of defeating the I'm done. So, but you know what? If you can't defeat it, then you can't defeat it. It can't tell you what to do, can't tell you how to do it. That's not who I am. I can just help you acknowledge the truth in what you're feeling. So if you're done, right? I mean, there's nothing we could do about it. But if that done is causing stuckness, meaning why am I not moving forward, or why can't I feel forward, or an uneasy feeling about what you just said, maybe look into that and see why, and maybe kind of get somebody that can help you walk through that and understand the why and why you felt like you had to be done in that moment. When we had talked about the common regrets, another one that is a common regret in the words that we don't speak is, I wish I would have said something. You know, one of the hardest things that people carry is wishing they had spoke sooner. And maybe you wanted to say I love you, or maybe you wanted to say that hurt me, or maybe you wanted to say I shouldn't have said that. But life moves so quickly. Pride got in the way, fear got in the way. Fear is a big one. And that moment just never came. That moment just never seemed to come and let you say what you need to say. That's really hard too, because then you carry it, right? Right? I'm going to pause for just a second and ask you a question. Is there somebody in your life that you feel like you wish you would have said something and they're no longer there and you've just kind of moved on? Is there something that had happened? And in moving on, did you feel that maybe you should have just told them how you felt and still moved on? Who knows, right? Who knows? When the door closes, the mind starts replaying moments of that broken record, of that situation, and it makes it super duper hard. And I apologize if you hear the dogs in the background. Just saying. But regret also shows us something important. It shows us that your heart cared. Regret means love existed, and that matters. It matters, guys. It just matters. God understands that the words that we never said, even in silence, and our hearts are speaking. And it can be really hard. It can be really hard. So another common regret would be, I tried and they still hurt me. FYI, that's me right now. So sometimes regret isn't about what we didn't do. It's about what we tried and it still didn't work. You gave chances, you forgave, you hoped things would, change. And eventually something inside of you said, I can't do it anymore. Right? You just couldn't do it anymore. Reaching your limit, your boundary, doesn't make you heartless. It really doesn't. And that's a culture thing. Sometimes it just simply means that you recognized the cost of staying in a cycle that keeps breaking you. That's hard. Being done isn't always about being bitter. Sometimes it's just boundaries and survival. So just make sure that if you're living that regret, that you walk through it, you talk about it with yourself or with a coach or a therapist. There's no shame, guys. There's no shame in talking to somebody. There's really no shame. I talk to people, and the people I don't talk to is Rachel Hollis, and Jenny Allen, and Lisa Turkist, Lisa Harper. I mean, they have no idea who I am. And I'll be like, oh, Rachel, no idea who I am. It doesn't make me crazy. It just means that I'm just here. I'm just listening. I'm talking because I needed to talk it out. So I just want to let you guys know that. So again, another regret we could have is, what if I could have done something differently? Our minds are experts in rewriting history. We replay conversations and imagine if what we had chosen, a different route, a different situation, a different scenario in our heads, and it just keeps on and keeps on and keeps on and keeps on and keeps on. It, maybe it could have turned out differently. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. I don't personally know if it could have turned out different because it's already done. It's in the past. Even if it happened yesterday, it's still in the past, guys. We can't change that. What we can change is today. We can change our attitudes. We can change our mindset. And if you're anything like I was, we can just keep moving and just kind of sweep it under the rug until it comes up or triggers, something triggers. But relationships involve two people, right? You were never the only one responsible for the outcome. That's right, guys. It involves two people. And depending on the situation, I'm not talking about abuse. I'm not talking about sexual or emotional or anything like that, because that is a whole new ballpark. I am talking about the simple regret. And trust me, when I tell you it's a whole new ballpark, that's me. So I'm going to take a second and I'm going to let you know. I have a past. I was raped at 5. I was molested at 12, and I was raped on my 21st birthday. I have a past, and I didn't allow it to consume me, because then I wouldn't have had a healthy relationship with my dad. I wouldn't have had a healthy relationship with people, with my work, with friends, with anything. I wouldn't have had a healthy. So yes, there are times when these situations don't apply, and that's to one of them. So I'm just letting you guys know, kind of full disclosure there. Some people may feel more regret than they may feel anger, bitterness, exhaustion from that. And so if that's you, hear this. God is not afraid of your honesty. God is here for you. He wants that conversation. Give it to him. I don't know how many times at 21, and I'm a Christ follower, that it was more, why are you allowing this to happen? What is the deal? What did I do to deserve this? It's a deep pain. It's a deep pain, that regret. So someone told me, and so I wrote it down. I was like, oh, I gotta write this down. If there is no God, does that give you more comfort in that question that you have? Where were you, God? Why are you allowing things? With God, there is someone who can work with us in sorrow and comfort us always. And it may not be on our time and on our emotion, but coming from experience, the way I was doing things, it just wasn't working for me. Now I can actually go to God and be like, hey, that's not cool. I don't understand why that happened. This has hurt me so bad. Are you ever going to fix it? Those are honest conversations. Have them. Have them. It's okay. It's okay to be angry. It's not okay to do anything about the anger. I mean, we all have a Beth Dutton in us. We all have that Medea in us. It's just not okay to do that. So being done with people doesn't mean that you're done healing. Doesn't mean you're done healing. It just means that this is your time for healing, correct? Right? Is there a regret that you're carrying, guys? Is there something that you're carrying that you've never spoken out loud about? That's my question. Question number 1. If you could say one thing to a person today, what would you say to them? Question number 2. And the last question I'm going to give you is, right? It's not a question, it's actually a statement. So I'm actually going to encourage you guys to do one thing today, and that's write it out. Whether it's a simple little notebook like this, whether it's, on your phone, you have a notepad, right? Write it out. Write out that question. Write out the emotion. Write out what is bothering you. What is it? What's bothering you? Name it. Not every goodbye gets a spoken word. Not every story gets closure. But the absence of closure doesn't mean that we aren't going to heal. It doesn't mean that at all, guys. God can restore in places where conversations never happened. And that is something that's really important and really, really genuine with me, is that God can give you comfort. And ask yourself that question again. Let me ask that. For the questions that we have is, why did God allow this? Why is God allowing this? Where are you, God? If there is no God, does that give you more hope? Does that give you more comfort in your pain? It's just a reflection question. Don't get mad at me. It's just a reflection question. Does it give you more hope and comfort that there's no God? Or are you just so fed up and you're mad because of the situation that's happened in your life that you're absolutely questioning? It's okay to question. It's okay to ask. It is completely okay. Completely okay. Name your emotion. Name your thoughts. Name your anger. Name your bitterness. Name your numbness. Name it. And then call somebody. Call somebody you trust. If you don't have anybody you can trust, I have a coaching that you can more welcome to get on my website, elizabethkgreen.com, and you can set up a meeting with me. I don't know you. You don't know me. And maybe that's where you need to start. And tell me your story. Let's talk it out. But if you already have a therapist, give them a call. Hey, I just watched Elizabeth on Right Over Coffee, and I need to name these emotions, and I need to do this because I want to heal. I want to be unstuck. I want to know why I can't move on. So again, reach out to somebody, and if you're still too scared, a couple of suggestions. Number one, grab yourself a journal and write in your journal. It's okay. Nobody's going to see it except for you. Second thing is, you can order my book, Unspoken Goodbyes, and in that has journal reflection questions, and you're more welcome to use those as a starting jump-off point. And the third one, which should have been my first one, stop and have a conversation with God. And it can go like this. Hey, God, I love you. I know you're here for me, but I don't feel you. I don't understand. Help me. Holy Spirit, God, help me. Start it off like that, guys. And then you'll know what to say. You don't have to be a scholar, massive speaker to have a conversation with God. You have the conversation the way you want to have it. And if you're not a believer, then that's okay. In your world, it's okay. But how are you handling it? Journal it. Talk to somebody. Reach out to me, elizabethkgreen.com. You guys can reach out to me. You guys can get a coaching session. If you have prayer requests, you can put it on there. You can order the book from there. Or you can just listen to the podcast. It has been a great time talking with you guys today. I'll see you next week. You guys, if you need anything, reach out. I'm always here.